Kính thưa quý vị khán thính giả, như chúng ta đã biết, để thể hiện tinh thần ăn trái nhớ kẻ trồng cây, cộng đồng người Việt tự do tại New South Wales đã phát động một chiến dịch gây quỹ giúp Cao Ủy Tị nạn Liên Hiệp Quốc khi tổ chức này phát đi lời kêu gọi hỗ trợ tài chánh để họ có thể tiếp tục sứ mạng nhân đạo của mình trên phạm vi toàn thế giới. Rất đáng mừng, chiến dịch này đã được người Việt tị nạn tại Sydney tích cực hưởng ứng. Từ xuống đường gây quỹ tại Freedom Plaza, Cabramatta đến Sài Gòn Palace tại Bankstown và kết thúc chiến dịch tại buổi dạ tiệc gây quỹ ở Crystal Palace. Xin kính chào quý vị khán giả của đài truyền hình SBTN. Yến Thi đang đứng trước văn phòng cộng đồng của người Việt tự do tiểu bang New South Wales trước buổi trao tấm check trị giá 255.000 Úc Kim cho cô Naomi là đại diện của Cao ủy Liên Hiệp Quốc tại Úc Châu.
To see the amazing response of the Vietnamese community and what they've done to support UNHCR in raising over $250,000 just here in New South Wales is a really wonderful achievement.
Chúng tôi rất là vui mừng là cộng đồng của chúng ta đã quyên góp một cái số tiền đáng kể như vậy. Tuy nó không có thể nào nói hết được cái sự giúp đỡ của Cao ủy tị nạn đối với lại người Việt chúng ta, nhưng mà đây là cái tấm lòng của cộng đồng chúng ta để cảm ơn, nói lên cái lời cảm ơn đối với Cao ủy Tị nạn Liên Hợp Quốc. Và chúng tôi cũng nhân đây xin cảm ơn tất cả những quý đồng hương đã đóng góp trong cái việc gây quỹ để hỗ trợ cho Cao ủy Tị nạn Liên Hợp Quốc. Và chúng ta mong ước rằng cộng đồng của chúng ta sẽ làm được những cái việc hữu ích hơn cho tất cả mọi người.
First of all, I would like to say welcome to this special little ceremony that we're going to do today. Just to presenting a check that the Vietnamese community in the New South Wales chapter has been working or fundraising over the last couple of months, appealing with between Cabramatta and Bankstown, or as well as by the fundraising dinner itself. And over a few number of activities, we have raised over $255,000, which is just a little bit over $250,000. To be present this check to Naomi Steer, which is the director for Australia for UNHCR, which is just a little token of appreciation that we would like to present to Naomi as well as to all the people in UNHCR. This is from the bottom of our hearts, which can somehow assist the current refugee crisis within Australia as well as around the world.
First of all, I would like to thank Ms. Naomi Steer to be here to receive our gift. And also I would like to thank everybody who present here today. When we start with this project, I very worry about how much we can raise for UNHCR to return what they have done for us when we were in refugee camp. And today I feel very happy when we have a big check to hand over to UNHCR as token of our appreciation with their help during we was in refugee camp.
You know, we started the campaign in New South Wales, but we also talked to the Vietnamese community in other states. And as far as I know, Western Australia has raised, the Vietnamese community in WA raised something like 150.
Correct.
And
yes.
Queensland about 100.
Yes.
So, and then South Australia, I understand that they did it last weekend. I don't know how much they raised. But overall, the Vietnamese community in Australia, altogether, we raised more than $500,000.
So just to reconfirm that this $250,000 is only the first $250,000, so there may be more to come. And hopefully with the interstate fundraising with our partners and people around the world, we all contributed to it. And maybe the next fundraising will be more and more because people will become aware of this urgent need.
Yeah. Now, can I just firstly say that a lot of people say that why is the Vietnamese community do such a fundraising event? Now, can we just clarify that we do appreciate what Australia's actually done for our community, and in many ways, our community has been very successful in terms of assimilation to the Australian way of life, and we feel that it's time for us to be able to give back to our community, but also we don't want to forget our history, because behind this poster here, there's a poster of a boat, and a lot of us, we live a war-torn country on that boat, and these days, we like to put politics aside. Human comes first, and we feel that we need to take the ownership of that, and we need to give back as much as we can. So today, I guess, is a great achievement for our community, and before our project manager was saying, we'd like to roll this out on a national base. So hopefully in the future we can actually do something on a larger scale, so that we can contribute much more money to the needed agencies as well.
I think our Vietnamese community in Australia is always grateful to the UNHCR to what they've done for us since the mid-70s right up until in the mid-90s. So what they have done for us is to save us from the sea, save us from the journey to find freedom. And I guess that this is only the small token, and we will continue as always being a community which are very grateful to the UNHCR.
Yes, as the Vietnamese referees, I would like to say thank you UNHCR very much. Without the help from the UNHCR, I shouldn't be here today.
On behalf of Australia for UNHCR, I really want to thank the Vietnamese community. You said it was a modest contribution. It's actually an amazing contribution, and I think I said it that night where we first came together, it's actually a historic contribution. To my knowledge, it's one of the largest gifts to UNHCR from any refugee diaspora in Australia, and certainly the contribution of all your supporters and members towards over $250,000 just from New South Wales is a magnificent effort. And again, on behalf of UNHCR, I really want to thank you all. Since coming to that first event in Sydney, I've had the opportunity now to attend other events in Perth. My board members have been to Brisbane and Adelaide, and as you say, we now have through the entire community across Australia a commitment and a pledge of over $500,000, which again is an extraordinary outcome, and you should all be very, very proud of that. I also want to say in attending the events, so many of you have shared your stories. And it's a very timely reminder of the challenges that many people face across the world who are forced to leave their homes because of conflict, make incredibly dangerous journeys across sea or land or whatever, and often without any support of either their own host government or any other governments. And it's a reminder of the importance of the work and why we need to support the work of the UN Refugee Agency, who certainly stood behind Vietnamese refugees in the 70s and 80s to ensure that there was safe haven for people to come. In the same way now, there are nearly 10 million displaced people in Syria. And I know, again, for many of you, seeing those images of refugees fleeing Libya, Syria, across the Mediterranean, arriving in boats, those very tragic images of young children, one only yesterday of a young boy, remind us all of our humanitarian obligations. But again, as you've said, the Vietnamese community in Australia not only has made an enormous contribution in a humanitarian sense today, but it's also an opportunity to recognise the contribution that you have made to the Australian community in so many areas: the arts, the media, business, medicine, and again a reminder of why we as Australians should welcome refugees, because it's not a burden, you make an enormous contribution, and the Vietnamese community is a fantastic example to all of us of that. So thank you very much.
Mấy em trẻ mai mốt được thành công mà mình phải nhớ là cái history của mình, cái background của mình sẽ always ủng hộ and give back to Australia nữa.
Sẽ dẫn đưa ta đến nơi xây trên tình người, cùng nhau ta hát vang lên bài ca, tình yêu không biết phân chia màu da, tình người sẽ mãi luôn luôn với ta cho thế giới bình an.
Yến Thi tường trình cho SBTN Úc Châu tại Cabramatta, Sydney.